The first thing to do is determine your personal year number. If you haven't already, watch the video that I posted about how to calculate your personal year number, and then you can choose which number to watch from these videos. Okay, 5 people. If you're a year number 5, you are in for a lot of change. Okay, the good news is that the universal number this year is 4, which is stability. Stability, structure, achievement. But you are in a 5 place. Now the 5 is fantastic, it's crazy, but it does mean change, okay? Because in the 1 through 4s, we've been working up to creating something, and we've created stability. Now it's time to break that stability apart and move toward creating a whole new, more complicated situation based on everything you've already learned. All right, and just to demonstrate that, the sacred geometry of the 5 is crazy. All right, let's just start. I'll show you what it takes, because when you get to the 5, what you're able to do is regenerate. Don't you love that? Your year is a year of regeneration. And I think that's the best word. Let's call it that, regeneration, because that is the hallmark of the 5, is the ability to regenerate. And I'll show you every number up until now. You can watch for the other numbers to see how the sacred geometry numerology of your number plays out in a practical way in the universal geometrics of all of creation. But at the 5, something new happens. Okay, so here we have the original 1, everything's possible. The 2, something is created and added to it. And this is the womb of all creation. All right, this is called the Vesica Pisces in sacred geometry, and it is the womb of creation. You can see that it's vulva-like. And once you're in the 5, you are able to create a universe inside the womb of creation, geometrically and in nature. I'm going to show you. I'm going to have to go through some acrobatics to make this 5 for you, to make the pentagram for you. The pentagon for you inside the womb of creation, this regeneration energy that you're in. And after that, I'll explain it. So I think you'll just have to watch this maybe I'll put it in fast motion here for you so that it won't take forever, but it is pretty cool. So here we go. Well, you can see I'm not a perfect geometer, but I'm doing my best. Okay, and then from there we can go into other forms as well. This is a really important form. The pentagram is a very important form in creation. You'll notice that the shape of leaves are in the form of a pentagram. I mean, a pentagon. Sorry, a pentagon is a very important shape in creation. Leaves are in the shape. The human body is in the shape of a pentagon and a pentagram. The human body goes in there somewhere like this. You know, the famous drawing of the person inside the pentagram. The torso is somewhere in here. The legs go like this. You see, that's the golden mean, the shape of the human body. Leaves. The hand, the human hand, is in the shape of a pentagon. Basically, all natural life is related to the geometry of the number 5. It's created. Everything in the natural world is sort of based on the creation of the pentagon, the 5. The shape of it comes from this kind of atomic structure, if you will, molecular structure. I don't know, this geometric structure. Also, with the pentagram, the number 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not right. The number 5 is also the 5th of the 5 platonic solids. So when you're talking about creation, you have earth, air, fire, water, and then this thing that is the 5 that is created from earth, air, fire, water, and the 5th thing, whatever it is, this magical creation that is all of earth, air, fire, water. So you can look at earth, air, fire, and water coming together creates everything. All right, so there's enough esoteric explanation of the 5, but I think it kind of helps paint a picture of all that's possible with the 5. If you're in a 5 year, you've already achieved up to this level, at the very like a simplistic level of this, then this, then this, then this, and you've really set some things in motion, and things have become stable already. But now, because of all that you've made, you now are at a point of having to make something more from it, because your goal really in the philosophical sense of the tarot, of numerology, of geometry, of life, is to get to the 10. We all want to get to the 10. The 10 is the ultimate in culmination of what we want to achieve in anything we go to. So if it's love, you want to achieve this wonderful spiritual connection with who you're with. If it's your spirituality, you want to achieve a level of enlightenment. If it's your work, you want to achieve achieving that goal that you set out to be the boss of the company, or to own your own business, or something like this. It's the 10. It is the ultimate goal that you take all these steps to get to. The 10 is the completion. And then, of course, after the 10, then you start over again with 11, 12, and you move up. You level up into the next iteration. But we're not going up into that far right now. We're just sticking with 1 through 9, the basics, your year number, which is 5, which is regeneration. So you are halfway to completion. But halfway to completion means this is the point at which you must reinvest. Okay? You're no longer at the point where you could just keep plodding along and expect to get to the 10. You have to reinvest. You have to change things up. You have to create within what you created. I hope that's making sense to you. You've made something good. It's not good enough, though. You need to rethink it and birth a whole new universe from within the structure you've already created. So start thinking about ways to reinvest in. If it's a relationship we're talking about, all right, now you've gotten to that phase where things have quieted down. You're definitely together. You've reached the point at which things have become maybe a little boring. You know your routine of the week. You know that on X night you're going to stay and watch TV on the couch. Well, this can kind of lead to this rut. You can get stuck in a rut in that place. And same with your work. You know the routine. You know how it's going to go. You just go on and on and on and on. But things can't just stay the same. Things have to grow in order to stay alive. Nothing that is in the living world doesn't grow. Everything must grow. If it's not growing, it's dying. And we want to get to the 10. We want to grow and thrive and achieve our, the maximum joy out of anything that we create. So at the the stage before, the stage you were in, you could be, if you're still sticking in the 4 this year, when your number is 5, that means that you're getting into a rut. It's time to infuse new life into the thing that you've already created. So again, with relationships, it's time to change things up. It's time to introduce some new challenges, maybe do some new hobbies together, change up the routine, introduce something new and exciting that you two can share. If it's your work, you need to level up what you're contributing to the company, or try a new angle that will infuse some new excitement into the situation. If it's your own business, new marketing, adding a new product, anything that you've created. And what's nice about it is that you're dealing with this kind of regeneration, this unstable feeling, this kind of shattering of the old and birthing the new, in a universal year of stability. So you have this kind of grace surrounding you that's protecting you from things feeling like utter chaos, because the general energy around you and surrounding all things and all people this year is going to be this kind of certainty. It's a people, how do I say, you're not fighting against more chaos. The general structure of what you're dealing with is just stable. It's just, the people and situations around you are trying to just be smooth. They're sitting in their place and they're being smooth, and it's a great time to to feel like you will achieve when you're trying to regenerate in something that has already felt smooth. In other words, you may continue to feel a little bit like things are going smoothly, even though you're in a period of flux. Yes, I'll leave that there. Okay, on to 6. So my friend, I just wanted to thank you for watching and show you some of this art that I've been making, because it is so, it is sacred geometry, this art that I make. I started making this kind of art partly because of my passion for sacred geometry, because it's this style of art where it's basically mandala making, which is a geometric practice. You start with the eye of God at the center, and you build, this is beeswax and pine pitch pressed into, and then you take tiny glass beads and press it into the beeswax fine pitch mixture. This is on a capiz shell, and this is a necklace or just a kind of a mandala ornament, and it's using the geometry of moving out from the 1 to the 6, and spreading from there. It exponentially grows, and the pattern becomes more complex the further out you go from the middle, just like how we did in our geometry today, where the 1 is a relatively simple concept. These are earrings, and the further away from 1 you get, the more complex the geometry is. See, and then you get into big items like this. Like you could just look at this. Oh, here's me in the mirror. You could just look at the center of one of these, and it's a reasonably simple image, but when you start to grow, when you take that as the center and you start to grow the pattern out, you see how it just becomes more and more. Take the center of one of these motifs, for example, and the further away you get from the center, the more complex it is. And that's how we are as people, right? The more interesting we are, the more we evolve as humans from just eaters into thinking and spiritual beings, the more complex the pattern is out from the center. And this one is actually already sold, but I'm going to be making much more of these. And all these things are in my Etsy shop and more. And I have sold a lot over Christmas time, so the store's a little bit skimpy right now, but you can get to it through angelinetarot.com or through just directly to Etsy, etsy.com/shop/eyeofgodart. So thank you for watching that little commercial. I hope you enjoyed my little numerology for you for the coming year through sacred geometry. Yes, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful 2020. Why am I trying to just show everything? I don't know. I'm a cornball. Yep. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful 2020. Happy New Year.